Hello, everybody. This is Tiffany.
What's up, everybody? This is Ariel.
And we are on episode 12.
Yeah, you know.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. I was just about to say, it's so weird. Okay, so our thing is to definitely say the episode in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you say a number, I'll be like,
Really?
Every time. Like, I'm surprised every time.
So it's funny because we were getting excited about 10 and then 10 happened and I'm like, oh, I'm adding numbers.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go.
Oh, okay. Well,
so we
talking.
So you just gonna keep on recording and dropping gems. I see you. Okay. Well, live your best life.
Right. So what have you been up to? Because I'm literally just trying to stay vegetarian in 2019.
I'm trying to keep going to work because every morning I wake up. Every morning I wake up. Hey, so y'all know I got this strong 9:30 bedtime, and this has been getting tested a lot lately.
Already.
And girl, look, I'm uninterested in staying up past 9:30, but it seems to be happening more and more. And then the other day, I have received a message from one of my friends. Now, you know how I take friends, right?
Absolutely.
So, of course,
I'm blessed.
And highly favored. Say it again.
Hey.
For the people in the back. I literally received a message from one of my friends like late at night, and I do not like tell people wrap it up. Like, and I do not pretend like I don't see the message and then say something to them in the morning. I'm one of the friends like, let's talk. What's happening? You know, do you need to talk or you want to text? Like, how you want to do this? Like, I'm that friend. And I noticed that the way I friend, everybody don't know how to be a friend. Because my friends that I have usually are just like so hesitant to reach out or to say anything, and they always say the same thing. Like, I'm used to doing it by myself. Like, I'm used to dealing with the stuff by myself.
Here's the thing, because I'm their friend. So
you was one of them that said that to me,
right? But it's not, because that's not my story. I just feel like if you have a friend like Ariel, she's just so dope that it's like, oh, I know. Listen, I want all of it. I know it's not all for me. God got plans for you. I don't know where it's being sprinkled right now. I would really like you to throw a little dash of it over here.
Dash.
I don't want too much, but
it's just sprinkle.
I know you got other things to do, so maybe, you know what? Forget it.
Literally, that's why when we talk for 3 hours at a time. It's lit. Y'all, you don't understand. Like, our conversations are so lit and all over the place, but so profound that it, like, I'll think back. When I talk to other people, I'm like, me and Tiffany were talking the other day. And, well, Tiffany said one time, but one time I was talking to Tiffany and I told her, like, there's so many gems that
I can't even talk to other people the same way for long periods of time because I know that we're not talking about nothing. And I'm like, oh, you're not Ariel, huh? Hey.
Here's the thing. Like, what I discovered early in my life is like how I take friendship is different than a lot of people take friendship. And I had to learn early that it doesn't condemn them because they don't friend how I friend. Like, they don't know how to be a friend like I know how to be a friend. And so I have a best friend. Literally, me and her have been friends since birth. She was born in May and I was born in November. Our mothers were friends while they were pregnant. They were pregnant at the same time with us. They were we grew up together. We've never not been friends. We've always been best friends, right? And you know, sometimes you have to check your best friends and go, so you my best friend. You not somebody else's best friend. Because that's not how best friendship works.
You're so silly.
But don't I have this argument all the time?
Oh no, this is a real thing. That doesn't work. See, my best friend, I had to learn, because same thing. Like, I had to let her go and be, because I don't really find myself jealous in a lot of spaces. Like, I'm social. I get people being social. But I've learned, like, oh no, she mine and I want her. So.
And I'm not about to share with you.
And so when I see people, and I don't even have, but when I see people and she's like giving all her goodness to people that are not doing the right things, and I be like, come back over here and come home.
Listen,
get
your toys.
Bring your tail back over here. I'm standing out on the porch like a mom.
With your hand on the hip.
And a bonnet. Come back inside. Because it's
Look,
too late for
the
you.
street lights is on and you out here gallivanting. You bring it home, okay? Now I'm about to keep dealing with this bull fracking-knackle.
I love fracking.
Out here with these ruffians.
Yeah.
Get back over here.
Yeah.
So I had to tell my best friend, I said, listen, because I'm not going to keep having this conversation with you, okay? Listen, I be sending her. Okay, so I just heard myself say I be. And that just did. So I'm definitely going to try to talk better because I can. But it was in the mood. I was in the mood.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get into it.
I mean, if you say fracking-knackle, you get to say I be. You know what I'm saying?
You have a very valid point. Let's continue. So I be talking to her like, okay, so we're best friends. Mm-hmm. You don't have another best friend because then I wouldn't be the best.
Right.
There's not a 1 and a 1. There's a first place, there's a second place, and there's a third place. Now, you can have a second place and you can have a third place. So you can never have another first place. And I am in first place. And I'm not going to keep telling you this. And I'm not going to have to keep coming over here and snatching you off other people's porches. Yeah. Like, listen, get it together. Like, because my best friend is my best friend.
Right, I get it.
And, like, I would tell her all the time, like, I'm not playing with you. So you better let other people know that we're best friends. Because, I'm that best friend that when you introduce me to other people, I'm like this. Hey, what's up? Look, and then if I see y'all having like little cute inside jokes, I'm like, oh, that's nice.
I'm still here.
38 years in this game.
Run it.
Y'all got cute inside jokes. Aw. 38.
You gotta work on that part of yourself. You gotta grow a little bit.
I feel like I shouldn't have to. Let me tell you how I've grown. That I don't do it in public anymore.
And that's big.
Because I used to do it in public.
Yeah. And that's what when you said it, because I know, I'm like, she don't do that like that no more.
No, not no more, y'all. Because I, talked to God about it and he was like, ooh.
That's not cute, girl.
Get it together. But I definitely will still inbox her and send her text messages like... Look, I send her like the eyes, like you see me. Look at it. I see you, see me seeing you.
Right.
I used to make posts, y'all. It was bad, but I used to come on her posts too. Like when other people who said stuff, I'd be like, "No, she's talking about me. You're welcome. You're welcome. If there was any confusion, I'm happy to clear this up for you. She's talking about me. I'm her best friend." So I take being the best friend very seriously, and I also explained to you guys that I am a little bit of a goon with glitter, and I used to fight for my best friend all the time because she's not a fighter. And I at one point in my life would throw hands on the regular. So if anybody was like challenging her or coming up on her, like, oh, so you talking to me because you talking to her, you talking to me. So what we talking about?
Right.
That was before I became the lovely person that I am now. But I literally take friendship to heart.
Right.
Because if I call you my friend and if I tell you I'm there when you need me, I legit mean it. Because I don't say it to people. Like, I'm one of those people that I'll say, call me if you need me, and I mean it. But if I don't mean it, I definitely don't say call me if you need me. I say, well, I hope it all works out for you. I'm gonna be praying for you. I literally pray for you. But if you don't get those words from me, I don't mean it. But if I say it, I definitely mean it. And she's been able to call me 3:00 in the morning. I get out of bed and go to where she is. Like, I legit, that's the friend I am. But I'm that friend to my friends. Like, she is my best friend. But like, if Tiffany called me at 12:00 and say, can you come here? Definitely getting dressed. Send me the address.
Facts.
Like, Tiffany definitely has texted me and said, come get me. And I'm like, I don't know where you are, but I'm definitely on the expressway heading in your direction. And had to get off. I didn't have an address, y'all, but she just said, I need you. And I was like, okay.
2018, baby.
It was lit.
Hey,
but I was there, y'all. Like, because I'm that friend.
Through the concrete, baby. Yeah. I had a flashback when you said, I
remember. Mm-hmm. I remember that. Uh-huh.
You know, it was a statement made about me that got to me. Of somebody making commentary on my failure in relationships to say that I was a better friend. They think that I'm a better friend. Like, I know how to be a friend, but I don't know how to be a mate, I guess.
Oh, I don't.
And I was like,
look on here with your story.
Right, so when I heard it, I was like, get out my book. But anyway, that was my first thing, like, what? So we're not going to get into the source of where that came from. But I recognize, and even in conversations with Ariel, we have conversations so many times that I hear stuff about myself and my thinking through speaking on it, and I'm like, you don't have to work on that. So 2017, when I was in a slump and going through some things, and Ariel and I linked up, it was heavy on my plate that people that I was cool with at that time had a problem with me. And it was like heavy on me. Like, it was heavier than a lot of other stuff on me at that time. Like, that was really, so I'm saying I was crawling out the shell, and literally it was almost gonna put me right back in it. Like, I was crawling, and I was like, maybe I should stay in the shell. Right. Because I don't like how it feels out here.
Exactly.
The air isn't clear. And we had this casual link up, and we were just talking and catching up, and expressing my feelings. Ariel was like, everybody doesn't know how to friend the same way. And I was like, Now, I'm a person that likes to understand things overly most of the time. But because I am always processing stuff, like, that's stuck with me. And
that's because you're a Gemini.
Yeah. But, yeah. So that one stuck with me. And I was like, And it questioned the negative habits that I had of always finding my fault in everything. That this may literally have nothing to do with me.
Possibly.
And that wasn't
never
on the table.
But you was like, it's me.
What am I? Of course, because all this other stuff is happening in life and all this, and I'm just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And it was big for me. And for me, I've had harder departure from shifts in my friendships than any man I've ever dealt with. Like, it's done something completely different to me to have a shift in someone, because what's similar, like you said, your friends, I don't fake and phone. Now I'm not as consistent as I can be, but one thing, anything you can get good from me, I'm consistent about. Like, if I'm encouraging, I got that. If you're not getting that from me, it's not because you're gonna get negativity, it's because life might be hard, and give me
a second.
Yeah, I'm in the locker room. I'll be out.
I put my gym uniform on,
but it's still there. Just hold on.
I'm getting dressed.
But I'm consistent in that. I don't lie to my friends. If I tell you I think you're amazing, I really think you're amazing. I don't feel need to make up my feelings for you. I have no reason to be a hype man. I don't get paid for it. Like,
listen.
I'm invested in you. If you're my friend, I'm invested. This is for life. We're companions. So I'm in this thing with you. So for me, that's a breakup. And I think friendship breakups don't really get credit of what that does. But for me, I referenced my friend from grade school who I was like, oh, I'm sure she had her reasons, but what that was to be on that side at that time, oh, it was bad. Like, that was hard. That was my friend from first grade. So I'm like, now we supposed to do this life thing together a certain way. The way, but then I also, as I spoke on, recognize today that we like to lock in what friendship is supposed to look like and don't really allow for growth a certain way. You don't allow for that person to grow or it to change in dynamics of the way you became comfortable with.
Here's the thing. I'm all about growth. My only stipulation is if we are friends, you unequivocally, I need whoever I'm friends with to give me the same type of grace that I give them. Because I'm one of those friends that's like, we could go through the trenches and I'll still be there with you. I got friends who don't nobody rock with their boyfriend but me. I got friends who don't nobody rock with their husband but me. I got friends that they don't even know how to articulate things to their family and have said to me, hey, come with me to go talk to my family about this. And because I was there, their family took whatever that was being delivered to them better because I was there as support, giving the news, like explaining it. I need that same grace. But when that grace is taken off the table, I'm kind of at a loss for words. Because the way I am a friend, I'ma send a text message, I'ma talk to you in person, I might send you a long letter. Like, I try to over explain whatever the situation is so there's clarity, because I never come with a place of malice. Every time I come from a place of love. People don't want to hear certain things, and then because it's not what they wanted to hear, they turn their grace off. But when it comes to my female, because I have a lot of male friends too, and I would just like to say that this usually happens with females more so than men. My male friend, like, I have a male best friend and I have a female best friend. And my male best friend, I don't talk to him all the time, but as soon as we talk, we pick up right from there. I was in a relationship with my son's father. My son's father did not want to have nothing to do with my male friend. And because I wanted my relationship to bloom and blossom and turn into whatever it could, I literally told my best friend, like, he got a problem with you. Like, I love you to death, but I got to respect my relationship and I got to respect my man. And out of love for me, he extended me that grace and said, I'm always here. I love you. I do not like this. This is stupid, but I'm always be here.
Do you know why you're saying this? I'm like smirking because I was like, oh, you've really been a trash person at different times. Because I have a male best friend too, and I was in a relationship that was just terrible in many ways that I'm sure on this journey we'll get into. But man, I would put his ringer on mute. Like, I just didn't need no smoke. I changed his number on my phone. Like, I didn't even give the, hey, he has a problem. And then when we did talk, and he was like, man, I was trying to reach you. I'm like, here's the thing. It's a little hot over here.
Look,
and I don't really. And he was like, are we really doing that right now? Like, he wasn't saying that in defense of him. He was saying it out of care for me. Like, you letting yourself be in that? I hear it. Just
but humor me.
Give me a bit. When it flipped on me, because he always anybody he dated, he would kind of like from the gate, knowing it could be an issue, would be like, so that's my best friend. So we put that right on the table, and we don't gotta go no further. And I always respected that. And then he ended up dating someone that had a problem with me. And if we're gonna be honest, probably most had a problem with me until they saw there was no reason to have a problem with me. But I just hated it. I hated to be on the other side of that.
Right.
And I wasn't mad at him.
After you did it.
Listen, that's what I was.
The audacity.
That's why I'm smirking right now when you said, and he gave me that grace, and I was like, ooh, you did not have that same grace back.
You had fire.
I was hurt. Because I just didn't like how it felt to be on that side.
Absolutely.
But again, he's really my friend, and I've known him since grade school, and I'm just so proud of our friendship and how it's grown, and the fact that even now, like, we used to talk way more. Like, we used to talk all the time, and we don't talk on the phone like that. But like you said, when we do, you know, we write in it, we can kick it, we can hang out.
Absolutely.
Everything is normal, and we don't come with that energy of like, so you ain't been talking, like, you ain't gonna update me, or it's just love.
Absolutely.
All the time.
I think with my male friends is way more chill. Females are so fickle and so critical, and the petty level is beyond me. This is beyond me.
That's because it lacks a lot of accountability
on the individual. Yeah.
Period. However it's sliced, I feel like for friendships that nourish with so much love, when it gets to that type of space, and usually whatever causes it to be there, it's petty. It lacks accountability. Someone doesn't want to take the time because you want to own that feeling or whatever makes you feel some way, that you don't want to give this the look to be in a situation of resolve. So somebody's putting their foot on the ground and folding their arms or doing whatever that doesn't allow you to move through that space into a better space. Nobody wants to be accountable because you want to own being there. Like I said, for me, friendships, those critical friendships, because I've always been social and I've always been friendly, but I've always held close like my crew and my group, and like, these are my people.
Right. And
my people have always been like a nucleus. I've always been the nucleus to, like, I've always been closer with everybody that I've been around. Like, they will be around each other and can be cool with each other, but I've had an individual closeness with all of them. That's just how it's been most of my life. So in growing and even really focusing on myself last year, I learned so much about what I need from a friend too now. Right. That I didn't.
And that's big.
I didn't, I had it, but was never really like assessing it like, oh, you need that. So when you say that, like, I need that grace, I definitely extend that grace. And I definitely was able to see where I don't get it.
Absolutely. So I had a friend. I got 2 points. I gotta make sure I keep them in my head. I had a friend that,
because I was like, oh, it's about to get real. We slurring and slowing.
Yeah, well, this is about to get real, but I got 2 real things to say. Mm-hmm. So I had a friend who I had been friends with for some years, and you ever see a person and then they change up they moves and they actions, and you call them on and you say, hey, you better than this. Mm-hmm. This not you. I see you going down this rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. Bring it back. And they look at you and go, no, I'm not. And I'm like, no, legit, I see you doing it. You better than this. Mm-hmm. And incident after incident after incident, and all you're doing is like, hey, cut it out. Like, this is going to get worse and worse and worse. And they keep doing it. And at some point, when you're trying to be a better person, you have to look at them and make a decision. Do I keep doing this with you and ultimately end up down this rabbit hole with you, or do I let you go? Some people think that letting a person do what they want to do and you putting more value on yourself and not standing in their way means that you have unfriended them. It's not what I did. What I did was I came to one of my friends. I legit said, hey, stop it. I don't know what is going on in your brain, but this is not okay. You have to stop it. You are not being a person that I know and love. Legit, I'm telling you this out of love. You are going down a hole, and once you get there, you will not be able to come back out. I can see it because I'm on the outside. Please come back. that was not received well. But that's because accountability was not going to be anything that was on the table.
Right.
So my response was, okay. And I kept moving forward. Now you can't call me with no trash. I just told you I'm not doing this with you.
Right.
You can't call me with no, well, what about, I don't want to have those conversations with you. And I'm trying to tell you that you don't need to be having these conversations either, but that's where you want to live. And that's when people start having people around them that feed that fire.
Absolutely.
You don't want to have nobody around you that's going to say, you on trash, you being garbage, cut it out, you better than this. You want people that's going to say, yeah, girl, that's right. Nah. See, because I tell people all the time, I'm the type of friend say, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Don't call me with no more of that. Can you? No, I can't. And don't call me asking me nothing like that ever again. But I still love you the same.
Right.
I still want you to be my friend. But you don't want to be my friend because you can't take the way I'm friending.
Right.
So
it comes with me.
But it sounds better to run the dialogue that you tell yourself and that you tell everybody else that it was me. Guess what? To save myself, if that's the story that has to be told, then run it.
Right.
Because I'm going to be fine. And any time you want to get on this road with me, I'm here. But what people want you to do is stand still on that road. Nah, I'm going to keep walking forward, but I'm going to keep looking back. I'm going to keep looking back and see where you at. I'm going to even reach my hand out. Like, come on. Right. You might have to put a little jog on it and catch up to where I'm at. Get a little slow trot. Walk, speed walk. You're going to have to do something to catch up to where I'm at. But as soon as you get here, we can walk side by side. But what I am never going to do is turn around and walk backwards to where I came from to come and get you when at some point we were standing side by side and I tried to damn near carry you on my back.
Right.
I'm not. And you can say what you want to say, but a friend doesn't put another friend in a position to have to do that. Because when they come to you, they tell you like, hey, this no good. I've had situations with other female friends where I was like, all right, so this is what I'm doing. And you want to do it or not? And they're all like, all right, let's go. Right? Tiffany got her finger up. Like, I know how good of a friend I am. So I don't never question, well, could I have done more? Absolutely not. I can't do no more than I was doing. You weren't ready for it. And that's okay. I don't condemn anybody for that. But the people who normally do the condemning are the ones that didn't want to hold themselves accountable. And I have a long list of friends. My track record is real good. So it's kind of not me. Well,
here's what I've noticed. The most difficulties I've had, like I said, I'm the same. I have a female best friend. I have a male best friend, and then I feel like I have a close circle. Like, that's how I view it. Which is like, I never really, like, I only call, generally I only call out like my male best friend as my best friend. But I've just had this circle. For me, especially in these last couple of years and meeting people and kind of trying to be open to growth, and I recognized by not holding my friends accountable, it made it why I also didn't have to hold myself accountable in certain ways, because I wouldn't hold them accountable when I was seeing things like, this isn't good or this isn't great. It made a comfortable environment that we couldn't even nurture a friendship where you do the same. Now, I've always had very loving and caring in people, but when they would cross boundaries, I had to learn how important and my role in making sure my boundaries are abided by whoever they're given to. So for friends, I definitely got more fire for a mate than I do a friend, right? Like, I'll go in.
And I'm the complete opposite.
I'll go in on my mate and I'll be like, okay, let me,
fix it over.
Let me see what I can do here with my friends. And for that, I've had people be friends for years that I've tolerated things that were never really okay. And it's almost because, like, I have these good relationships. I guess I mentally would be like, well, I don't really need you to do that type of way. Like,
right.
I have these people over here who do that.
Right.
And you don't have to do that. But I've kept you in a close position that now when I don't want to tolerate that, I've done something.
Right.
And it was really never okay. It's just that I didn't uphold my boundary. And now if I do, I did something wrong. So I have this year, because I said that on one episode that I knew. Oh, I said it on episode 10. I remember. I remember. That it would look like I was isolating myself because I had done that before, and I had to be prepared that I had to do what I had to do regardless. In that, I had 3 really close people to me completely loathe the way I was handling my life. Like, they didn't like it.
Yeah.
They weren't
like it.
One of those people, I personally have felt like we had the best relationship we had ever had the year before. And part of the reason I felt that was we were able to maintain communication more. And I felt good about my role and how I was a friend. And I felt like I was able to be a friend more that year. And I recognized that I would think I was being accountable, but I was actually given a clearance that I was ignoring. And that's kind of the highlighting the parts you want and then ignoring other stuff thing. But I would say, like, okay, I know that things are different. I don't need you to do what I'm doing. But even if things were done that were hurtful or I didn't like, I would say, well, my job is to just focus on what I'm doing. Because you're not doing this to get something back. You're not doing this, you're doing it out of love. So on and so forth. When you said that, I've had conversations where I've shown up when you're making terrible decisions and you still want to do them. When you got crazy ideas and I'm listening and I'm telling you it's crazy, but I'm not. It's hard to grow when you're trying to grow with people, even in friendship, that are making the choice to stand still. Like, you
absolutely.
Like, if you see them and where we could ride this wave together, I don't need you to do what I'm doing. But if you won't even do what you can do, and I'm trying to push forward, it creates an environment that we don't always like to be honest about, because sometimes you do need stuff to shift, and if we don't want it to, we don't really want to even look at that part.
Right.
And I was making decisions in what I felt like was being a good friend that really wasn't best, because I was really stretching myself. I have kids. Had a new relationship. I was pulling him into that to be a friend and show up. So those, like, we talking about, I'm getting midnight calls and I'm rushing out the house, or he's rushing out and got to be back and go to school and get up at around 4 or something. And like, this was a continuous thing. And when we get to this year, and I have that conversation with myself, and Ariel can attest to this, there were plenty of times when Ariel was reaching out to me too and got nothing.
But me being the type of friend I am, I continued to reach out and accept that was the space that she was in, and I didn't take it as a like she discredited me, or I had did something to her, or that she was being rude and dismissive. Mm-hmm. I would even send her messages that said, I don't know what's going on, I hope you're okay. And
that is why that was one of the first ones I replied to, because it was no demand on me.
Listen,
it wasn't a condemnation of what I was doing. So like I said on episode 10, when my boyfriend cheated, I told everyone in my circle so I couldn't hide from it. But it taught me a lesson that I needed to deal with, period, about the ways I extend myself, that I didn't owe anybody any other part of that process at that point.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I would have been having conversations I didn't even really want to have, trying to explain stuff that I didn't really need to or know myself.
Yep.
And not giving myself time to really go through the process. And I was committed that I needed to approach this differently. Because of that, there was a view that I was, I guess, shifting and prioritizing my friendships, and you're talking to these people, but you're not talking to me, or you're doing this, or whatever. Listen, because I don't know, and I can't even really get into it. I don't know what the perception was, but it wasn't communicated. It was all assumed.
Let me tell you. I forgot who said it, but it might have been Les Brown. He said, what somebody thinks about you is none of your business. I had to learn that people will come up with their own stories, their own false narratives in their head to make whatever the situation. I was the queen of doing it, right? But I never did it with my friends. Like you said, you give way more grace to your significant others. I give my friends way more grace than my significant others.
No, I said it that way. No, okay. I'm saying when I said fire, that was trash fire. Like I got fire. Like I got go with.
Like my significant other, I put them on a way higher pedestal than, like, I expected so much more out of them.
Yes.
Like my friends could just do all types of stuff, and I'm like, oh, she get on my nerves, and we'll be cool. Let my significant other do it. We won't talk for 2 days. Oh, I'm dry. Whatever.
I'm not answering the phone.
Absolutely.
I just told Ariel a story. And she literally hit me with, so I'm going to ask you an honest question. Why are you friends with this person? Like, why? And it's crazy to me when I think of working on myself, how much stuff I just invited by not wanting to take the look. And not wanting the look to change. Actually, I saw it, but I was like, it's over there. Let me turn my shoulder a little bit.
We don't have to give it eye contact.
I know it's there, but if you don't look at it, maybe
it'll go away.
We'll see. It doesn't. What you don't think about by taking that type of passive approach is that if that's someone close to you, where that keeps you. Like, friendship is so important, and it's why that statement is there. Like, I never thought, listen, it took this point in time in life when you would hear the statement of guys, and when guys would look at me like, I'm looking at who her friends is. She gotta, like, if you hanging with hoes, and I'd be like, oh my God, they're just so judgmental. And what she does has nothing to do with me. I don't go in that girl's bedroom. I don't know what she does. I mind my business. I'm in my business ministry.
Praise the Lord.
I don't care. But then when I would know things, now I was with you when you were doing some trash, and now I've seen it close up, and it's the stuff that I tried to act like wasn't there. That becomes part of my responsibility too.
Yep.
And when I act like it's not there, no. When you think that, like, in reality, no. Her sleeping with a bunch of people is not going to make me go sleep with a bunch of people. I have sound mind, and that's what we think. But what that person can't do is, if they can't talk themselves off that ledge,
absolutely,
they can't help talk you off yours.
I've had people try to push me off the ledge. Literally.
That's
like, I've gone to friends. So I literally, last night, I had a conversation with one of my 10. And when I talked to her earlier that day, she hit me up to tell me how much she enjoyed this podcast. Mm-hmm. And while we were talking, she's like, I'm not doing so well. And I'm like, well, what's up? Talk to me. And she's like, telling me basically that, she's used to dealing with stuff alone, and she's struggling and stuff. And My response is, oh, well, then we need to have a date.
Right. Let's get to it.
I said, so when are you? And she was like, I don't know. I said, oh, well, I'm free tonight. Because when I said we need to have a date, I meant immediately, like today or tomorrow. And she was like, I was like, I can come after work. So I literally go over to her house. We talk. And I'm telling her, like, you're making this harder than it is. And I know it's a struggle because that's how I used to be. And it had a lot to do with accountability. It had a lot to do with having transparent conversations. And I told her how hard they are. I told her how much of a struggle it's going to be. But I also explained to her how much of the benefit she'll reap from doing it. And how amazing her relationship is going to be because of it. And that even if she doesn't get what she wants out of this relationship, she has already started to use the tools that she's going to need for whatever relationship that she's going to be in. And you can't be all in if you're not all in. And being all in means you got to be transparent. And being all in means you got to be vulnerable, and you gotta hold yourself accountable. And I literally hate your faces.
Oh man, because you like talking to me too.
I know.
What?
So he said, let's go. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm talking to you through my failures. These are all the things that I did not do. I am aware that these are things you need to do. Now, I could have been that other friend. I could have been that friend that was like, girl, listen, you are amazing. And anybody that gets with you is lucky. And he just gonna have to deal with this is the type of person that you are. Even if you are a trash character. Nah, I'm definitely not promoting trash characters. I literally know what they look like because I was one. Right. So when I see it, I go like this. That is a really cute outfit that you have dressed your garbage in. Because you are definitely being trash right now. And I don't know how to not do that.
This is what I've done. I am that type of friend too. And I try to think of who I'm talking to, and I may be tactful of like, let's see how we gotta approach this to get the message across here. What I haven't done a good job is holding them accountable for their not being a good friend to me. I can have a conversation about them being accountable about other things they vent to me about, but having a conversation and saying, so the way you handled that's kind of a problem for me.
And it's whack.
And not feeling like I could almost, not feeling like I should. And I think that's where mentally what I'm growing through, that I've placed that, well, if you're my mate, we're in this thing, we're doing something different. Yes. I have an expectation. Exactly. We got to figure this out and talk this out. But a friend needs that too. And all my significant relationships that pour into my cup a certain way from my friends, we are able to talk like that. So I've just really seen and pulled back the wool on like what I've been tolerating. Why, like the difference of I like you and maybe I was friendly with you, then you maybe were not my friend that way. There's a guy I used to deal with that I held on to the language that he was my friend because that just worked to say to I guess mentally not look at all the trash he was pouring my way. So I was like, oh, he's my friend. Not doing anything friendly. Nothing. And that doesn't even mean just not really kind to me, not really nice, not thoughtful, nothing friendly. Like it's just literally time, history.
That's it. Experience. You ain't gotta add stuff to the list.
You're right.
You can leave it where it's at. That's not searching.
Yep, that's it. And that's a goal of mine now in being accountable, is that if I'm learning my worth, I can't limit where that pours and extends to. It can't just be about loving on myself and having a mate to love on myself, and then I'm keeping any other type of energy around me in my friendships. Oh no, we gotta do this thing all the way through. Like this has to be looked at, and not that pettiness that comes from friendships. Like I have outgrown that space. I don't know if you still get that. I'm a mom of more than one kid. One is enough. That's tiring. Okay. most of my friends, my close core, don't have kids. So I'm now in the space where I'm comfortable because it's my reality of just saying I can't do something. I used to feel terrible and would be jumping through hoops and loops to be at things that I could have said, no, that doesn't work for me. But I've tried to be there no matter what in ways that wasn't a need. I am the friend that if I can be there, I will be there. However that is. A need, an event, a crisis, if I can, I will. And the problem is because I am that way, I will treat everything like it's that level, and it's not. So I'm extending myself, and when I've started pacing myself and really making better decisions and saying, no, you really don't have the money to go to that dinner. Like, you're gonna have to stay home. You're gonna have to say no. You really don't have a sitter. Like,
you don't have the time.
You don't have the time. You really have something else you were supposed to do, and they just told you 2 days ago.
And you know what mine is?
What?
You really don't feel like going, so you ain't going. Listen, because my no game, I would say that as a friend, like, I definitely will support you, but I've never, I do not overextend myself.
I'm
because
better.
Okay, I don't know how many times I need to tell people this, but I don't like people and I don't like large crowds. And a lot of my friends that, I don't drink. So people always have something.
Want to go out to drink?
For drinks. And I'm like, is there food at this place we going to? Because that's all I'm going to be able to do there. And then I was a vegan. And then it was like, well, I'm not going to be able to do anything but eat French fries. Like, legit, it was a waste of my time. But I did want to support the person. Don't worry about it. I'm definitely going to take you out individually. Me and you, we going to go out.
Well, what I started realizing was some people, so I feel like there's like categories and levels, right? Like, I feel like, well, how it worked in my life, had this core, then I had like an outer core, and then I had acquaintances outside of that, and people I know that I could be friendly with.
I get that.
And so that outer core, that I feel like there's still a closeness there, but we just don't really keep up with each other in a certain type of way. I feel like I started seeing how quickly people will cross you off their list and evaluate your friendship for stuff like that. Like, you didn't come to my birthday party for the past 2 years. Literally, if you treated me that way, we wouldn't be friends, because I definitely missed you. Probably, I was helping you with one, and then I don't even remember why I wasn't at the first one, and then the next one I was in the hospital with my son, and I remember I was messaging you.
Oh, you talking about my birthday?
Yeah, yours. I'm saying, if you treated me that way, where oh my gosh, she didn't come to this thing I had, then we wouldn't be friends. And I started noticing, like, I would say stuff, I would offer those types of things, and like, hey, well, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Maybe we could do this. And it's still it had to go a certain way, because I fell short of that. And because I'm seeing and recognizing, that's why friendships have been harder for me, because I felt so good about friends, and because of what they mean to me, is like, that matters to me. So how you view me matters to me a certain way. And when I've struggled to view myself certain ways, is why I should have been being more careful of who I kept around, because it mattered to me. So if you were mad at me, I don't want you mad at me for me not being able to support you.
It's so funny you say that, because I have a friend that I'm friends with right now, and like a long time ago, like over 10 years ago, me and her, we had a disagreement. And let me tell you, like, she literally like said that she wanted to have a fight. I looked at her and I said, I don't fight my friends. And she was like, oh, well, you're going to end up fighting this friend. I said, I laughed so hard at her, it made her so mad. I laughed at her and I looked at her and said, I don't fight my friends. I was like, now you can stop talking to me if you want to, and have your own, you can be angry if you want to. I'm definitely not about to fight my friend. And I was like, so you better use your words. Like, I don't know what to tell you, boo. This all I got for you. And she was like, So, but we friends right now. And I bring it up to her all the time. I'm like, hey, remember that day you thought we was going to fight? And she'd be like, I was definitely going to fight you. I was like, no, you wasn't.
Because it wasn't going to happen.
We wasn't going to have a fight. Like, that's the funniest part. You legit keep saying that. We was never going to fight.
Right.
Fam, that was never about to happen. But, I mean, I got different friends. Like, I got some friends that when they on trash, I don't hear from them. Ooh, they stay on my phone and in my inbox and got all types of zest and everything for me when they living their best life. But as soon as they start, because they already know, listen, it is definitely the wilderness.
Oh, and that's the thing. That's why I recognize, because I've been that friend. Like, but the difference is, I've been that friend, and I've really been in like complete isolation when I'm on, like in that mode. Like, I'm not really peeking my head out. Yeah, I'm like in the forest of trash. Like, I'm swimming in the garbage can with. I'm just in it.
Did you say swimming in the garbage can?
Backstroke. When I'm in it on trash, it's ooh. And I haven't been there in a while. I don't plan on going back, but we're going to have to go about this differently. But I've been that person that my best friend, my female best friend, when it's, because she can smell me in a room. And my sister-in-law, I can talk to her for 30 seconds and she's like, what happened? What? Hello?
You said, what, hello?
I hear it in your voice. Yeah, I didn't say nothing, but how you doing? What did you hear? I don't know. She just knows. Yeah, I'm going to have to be a little wary with you when it's a little rough. I'm going to have to figure it out first.
You want to send her a text message.
Yeah.
Hey, girl.
She reads through that and she'd be like, I'm about to call you. Don't do it. I don't want to. I'm not ready. So I've definitely, I've been that friend. Because I just wanted to be there, and by growing and recognizing that I want better, that's a part of letting go excuses for why certain things are how they are. I want better from my life. I want better relationships. I want flourishing friendships. I want to be in a better space. You got to stop coming up with reasons. My best friend just said to me, I had to pull up on my best friend because she was
on trash.
And
I had to pull up on mine too, but
and we had a little powwow. It was great. And then I saw her, and she was like, "Yeah, I was having a bad day. I didn't want to tell you because I knew you weren't gonna let me stay there." Excuse me, ma'am.
That's not how none of this works.
We're not going to come up with reasons to not be our best
self. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I understand that feeling because
my best friend, let me tell you what my best friend did. So my best friend knew I wasn't on social media. So this fool goes on social media and has a whole fit on social media. Now, the new version of me does not, I repeat, I do not applaud foolishness on Facebook anymore. However, she thought it was okay. What she don't know is my crew deep. I got all types of screenshots and text messages, phone calls. Where you at? Where you at? Your girl is going through a thing. You need to call her, see what's wrong. So I get up in the morning.
Oh, because I was tricking. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Tiffany definitely was telling on everybody.
I said,
Tiffany was telling. One of my other girls was telling. It was crazy. So I called my best friend and I said, hey, best friend. She gonna act like ain't nothing happened. Hey, girl. I said, how are you? She says, I'm good. I said, we're gonna start this conversation off with a lie. She starts laughing. I said, oh, this is funny. I said, let me tell you something. And I began to read her. She said, I just hate always burdening you with stuff. I literally...
You're really that dope, though. I mean, I get it.
Literally took all I had not to put my clothes on and drive to her house. She was actually getting dressed for work, so I knew by the time I got there, she'd have been in the car driving to work. Then I had to chase her to work. It was just too much. So I definitely gave her all these bars. And then after I gave her all these bars, she thinks she's slick. She gonna say, well, I gotta get ready for work, but as soon as I get in the car, I'm gonna call you. She definitely ain't call me back. She ain't coming back for 2 days. Sometimes you gotta let a person sit in it. Okay, you go sit in that. No pressure. 3 feet. What you say? Okay, cool. But I already know that everything all the bars I gave her were in her head. I know that she knows that I have unconditional love for her. Mm-hmm. She had to have a procedure done and she was super scared, and she called me and told me she was in the hospital, and I'm like, are you okay? And she's like, I'm cool. And I was like, are you there by yourself? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, do you want to be there by yourself? No, I'm okay. And just like they knew your voice, I said, are you okay? Bawling, crying. She woke up, when she went to sleep and woke up, I was sitting right next to her. Don't play with me. Mm-hmm. Don't play with me. And every day that she was at the hospital, I was there. Don't play with me, because I don't play like that with my friends. Mm-hmm. It's the same for all my friends. Don't play with me.
I make it a point now in my relationships to tell my friends, like, if I can be there, if I can do it, I will do it. And that became important to me because I recognized I would go into defense mode if I felt like I upset someone or upset one of my friends, or they like my people who didn't like the way I was handling my life. I had to let that stay where it was. And normally I try to chase it and go into repair. And I had to be secure enough that I get to be where I am and you get to be where you are. I just don't have to accept what you're giving me because of how you feel. And I think sometimes we try to force it and, get into this space where everything's looking the way you've known it to look. And shifts happen, because shifts happen in people's life individually. People go through individual traumas and changes and growth, and it might cause a difference. You might go from talking to that friend every day to once every 3 weeks. And when you start using those type of scales to value care and importance and value of a person to you, like, stop making friends. You said that the other day, like, so dispensable.
Yeah. Like, people make friends that so there's a difference between everybody doesn't know how to be a friend and everybody doesn't know how to friend. Like, I know people who got a hella turnover rate when it comes to their friends.
They super friendly.
They like really good at making friends. They not good at keeping them because they don't know what it takes to be a friend. Like, I don't like how I literally can tell you the people that I'm not friends with anymore over how many friends I do have. Like, not my core friends, that list ain't long, but I consider myself friends with people, but they're not part of my core friends. Right. They're not part of my circle.
That's that outer circle.
Absolutely. Those people are definitely people who have been in my life and they tried and true and they got a track record with me. I don't have a really good turnover rate, and I don't know how to be. I'm super unfriendly in the beginning. Like, I'm definitely that.
Not anymore. You're not.
Here's the thing. When I walk in a room, I'm definitely not walking up to anybody and saying, let's be friends and build a clubhouse.
Of course. No, you're just being the beautiful person you are.
That is awesome of you. Look at you. You start talking to me and I'll talk to you. But if you're looking for me to walk up to you and talk to you and be like, oh my God, your foundation is amazing, let's be besties, that's not going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
No. We're not going to get that from me.
That's a character thing.
It definitely is. That's not part of my makeup. Like, and I keep telling you, I don't like girls like that. Listen, he gave me 10. Look, I don't got room for 12. I don't got room for 20.
You're so silly.
I got, my capacity is full. Okay? I don't got time. I don't have room for more. That's all I got. So, everybody don't know how to be a friend. But just because you know how to make friends, don't mean listen, we used to talk about these social media groups all the time. People was in here making hella friends and they literally hate each other. It's people in that groups that they over there mad at everybody because of they man. And it's kind of like, well, why you mad at them? They wasn't your friend in the first place. But people just want to assume because we done went out a couple times and we done all decided to go get tacos on Tuesday and we done had some margaritas together that we friends. That's not what that means. Like, low key, y'all just know each other. People were upset because they were no longer friends with those people like they was really friends in the first place. Y'all just went out for tacos on Taco Tuesday. Y'all wasn't friends. Like, you making all these friends, but you don't have no, like, there's no longevity with it. Y'all legit talking about each other. And that was males and females too. That's guys do that too. And
a lot of males that do that.
Listen, and they try to act like that's a woman thing. Ooh, child, y'all legit be doing that.
We see you. Here's the thing. And because of the way I friend and view friends, when I would see dynamics like that, that's what would confuse me, because I don't play with that. Like, I don't play with that. In that setting, there were a lot of people that were cool. I wasn't saying everybody was my friend. I wasn't linking up with everyone. I wasn't talking to everybody the same way. I wasn't sharing information and stuff like that. I hold valuable. Like, if I hold value, not just what we do together or how we talk to each other, but I hold value to how you pour in my cup. I never looked at it like that then, but that's what I valued. What do I get here? Is it support? Is it encouragement? Is it advice? Can we grow together?
But I didn't look at it like that at all until I started moving the way I'm moving now. Like, I never thought about it.
And here's the thing about people, and I think if you're listening, you're like, well, what's wrong with that? I'm that way too. You are friends, essentially, right? Because you're being friendly consistently. But you know how much isn't in that. Like, you know how much you don't know. That if that person does one thing to tip the scale and you're done,
right, then
you're not friends. And that's not about anything that person does. That's about you.
Right.
You have to be able to look at that person and say, if this happens, are we going to talk about this?
Right.
We about to deal with this? Or would you be done with that person? If you would be done, they're not your friend. And that doesn't mean you can't have boundaries. That doesn't mean you gotta like everything or everything has to be cool. What I recognize for me, there's not anybody, and everybody's gonna have a different version of me, but whatever they say applies to their story. That's their feelings. They get to feel it. There's nobody on this earth walking around I've intentionally done anything to.
Right.
That's facts. I don't even move that way. So if I'm not friends with somebody and we were friends at some point in time, I may have hurt their feelings. I may have upset them. I've never done anything to intentionally cause malice and say, I'm going to do this to you.
Right.
So, for me, if they've decided they can't move forward with me, that's them.
Right.
I have to leave it. What I had to learn is that I have to be okay with that. Because I've struggled with feeling like enough. That would make me feel like I wasn't enough if I had to defend my friendship.
Yeah.
If I had to say, well, no, that didn't mean this. And I've had to learn to respectfully allow people to be where they are and love them where they are. That's even your friends that stop talking, because I've had that. You on trash and you doing stuff that you know you don't want to talk to me about.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta love you where you are. I gotta stop chasing you to try to encourage you and pour all this love I got on you, and you ain't even checking for it. Ooh, I'm gonna be right over here.
You ain't even checking for it.
I'm gonna be right over here when you're done. But I'm gonna be here, so you're gonna have to come over to where I'm at, because I'm still moving. So this target is going to keep excelling higher and higher. So what I can't do, what I never could do, what always was my trigger, and it's even worse. What I can't, I cannot deal with you being coy with me. I cannot have you peeking around the corner and saying,
you don't do passive aggressive.
Ooh, I can't do it.
Ooh, Geminis don't like passive aggressive.
Listen, you can't go and be like, hey, I was just saying hey. You talking about after the 4 months that you haven't said hey to me? Hey. That's it. The conversation's done. Oh, I had to carry it, or what are we doing here? Because listen, I'm full. We can talk about it. We can get into it. If you don't want to, just come back when you're ready. Because I'm fully ready. We can talk about it. Don't expect me to do your work though.
And that's the other thing. People want you to do their work.
Listen, I know someone right now, and I have been struggling because they do quite a few things that are just very uncomfortable for the way I'm growing, that I've seen them do for a long time. And I'm like, ooh, child, this don't fit. I don't like it. I don't want to be around. And I think sometimes you think like you just have to cut people off, or you just gotta I've always struggled with cutting people off, but I think you just have to be honest for where you are. I've always given friends a pass, like, that doesn't work, but that's you. Well, that's not just them if that's the person you're talking to every day after 5. Like, yeah, that's kind of dealing with you too.
Absolutely. Because unless you're talking to them and you're trying to pour into them to be a better version of them. But if you pouring into them and part of what they got going on is pouring into your cup,
I don't need none of that. I don't want it.
Keep your cup. Put a
lid on it.
I don't want your cup.
Do you have a lid? Is it
Is it a sippy cup? Is it one of those spill-proof cups?
I need to know it's not the cheap coffee cup lid that got a little hole in the back, so if it knocks, something comes out. Keep all of it in it.
I don't want none of your liquid
need a screw acrylic
top on it.
Acrylic top screwed. Fall, nothing comes out. I need all security for what you got going on over there.
You said an acrylic screw top.
I don't want none of it. And I've struggled with that, and it's extended in my friends, but now being where I'm at, I'm able to see what I need from a friend, and that I can't feel bad for moving in a way that I never wanted to feel like I was leaving someone behind, but I can't stop growing for anybody. Like, I just have to keep continuously, because it's been proven to me, because I've been able to maintain friendships that grow in love on my journey of growth, on my downfalls, and they're still there. I have family that's friends to me, that I have, cousins that are friends to me, and they've been through all the bumps and valleys, and they right on here. That doesn't mean they like it all. It has definitely not all been pretty. But when you have people in your corner that are really just love you, support you, you don't have to like everything that I'm giving you, but you have to definitely be accountable that you're not giving off everything that I like either.
Right.
And I've always just felt so guilty and bad personally that I've not wanted to make decisions about some people that didn't need to stay in the same position. And I don't know about you, I think sometimes we don't, how can I say this? Do you think you can have a friend that was a friend, but they can no longer serve in that position? Like, we were friends, but it just doesn't, like, at this space, what this dynamic has turned into, where we are now, we are not friends now. This is not a friend situation now.
Then what is it?
No, I'm saying, do you think it can grow out of that? Almost like how you can grow into a different space and...
So you're saying you can be friends, grow out of friends, and then grow back into being friends?
Well, I think you can if both parties are going to do the work. I think that's with any relationship.
I think it also plays a part on what happened in the interim. Like that part when y'all was not friends. Because let me tell you something. I don't talk about my friends. Like, when we stop being friends, we just stop being friends. I don't go tell your business. I don't go badmouth you. I don't bring you up. Hell, if people ask me about you, she good. Tell her I said, hey, okay.
You don't make subliminal statuses?
Yeah, nah. I ain't got that energy for you. And I'm literally not about whenever anybody says something, waiting so that I could be like, oh, you ain't here, X, Y, and Z. Like, I don't got that fire for that. Like, I've never been that person. I don't go around talking about people and then getting upset about what happens after that, like what the outcome is from it.
So I talk about you, not negatively. I talk about my truths of why we're where we are. So if we're not speaking, I've had some people do some pretty trash things that I didn't want to just put them at trash, and it took me by having friends that I said, and they were like, "Hey, that's not good energy to keep around." I'm like, I mean, well, we'll see. So I might speak on you in terms of that. What I've come to find out is people get upset when people know
the truth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then that becomes, I'm talking about you. If we were friends, I'm never going to be like, oh, I hate, girl, let me tell you what she did in 1985. She's a terrible person. If we're not talking and someone I am friends with, I'm telling them the truth. Like, well, this is what happened. This is what occurred. This is why this person feels some way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. This is the chronological. This is what I know happened. You can't get mad that it's not just a secret between me and you. Because I'm not going to, like, put that out there for public display or just, like, conjure you up in a conversation. But I will speak on what my truth is. And I've found that's made a lot of people upset.
So I don't even do that. Like, I literally pretend like nothing has ever happened. Like, I don't speak on it. I gotta grow into that space. And listen, the reason is because I know that people will find a way to turn anything into something, because you already are the bad character in the story. Nobody's walking around holding the torch. Right. They definitely aren't saying, I'm the bad person in this. They're walking around saying, you are the reason why we're not talking anymore. You're the reason why we're not friends anymore. Male or female. Mm-hmm. She whack. She do this and she do that. And they won't tell the parts that highlight why you're not whack. They definitely gonna tell the parts that they want to tell so that their narrative makes sense, right? I'm not you gonna be the only person walking around doing that. Because then somebody asks me a question, I'm gonna be like, no, she good. Oh, well, she said such and such. I said, well, then maybe you should ask her then. Right.
I definitely had to learn, because I feel like I've had a revolving door on certain things that I don't have anymore. So I definitely have people I was friends with who have come back and they've acknowledged what they've done. And I had to realize that I can forgive them and be like, okay. And then it's not really going to look too different tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And then they've made me into the bad guy because I didn't want to jump back into the space we were.
Well, first of all, that's their fault for misinterpreting what forgiveness is. Mm-hmm. Forgiveness doesn't give you a clean slate. Mm-hmm. That's what God does. God cleans the slate with his forgiveness. Yeah. I'm not God. Let me tell you, I didn't forget. I know exactly what happened. I forgive you of it, meaning I'm not going to harp on it and harbor it and hold it against you, and we can talk. But we're not about to start having lunch dates and braiding each other's hair tomorrow. Thank you. I don't want to do that. Matter of fact, you're not going to get the constant contact that you had via text message. I'm not about to. And that's another thing. People think that because you don't communicate the way that they communicate, that you aren't being a friend. Meaning just because you called my phone and I didn't answer my phone don't mean we beefing. I was busy, or I just don't feel like talking. And some people will equate the constant contact that they have with you and then it's slacking or falling off, saying maybe I'm going through something and at this point I'm working on it by myself, and then I'm going to bring somebody else into it.
What's that statement we've said before with each other? Like, it's out there, like where people view like you weren't there when I needed you the most, and it's like,
oh, it says, it's the one when it says that when a person is going through a tough time and your friend turns their back on you, but what if they're going through the toughest time of their life also?
Listen.
And you don't know where a person is.
For me, I bury stuff, and
obviously.
Yeah, because I'm uncovering a lot now. But
get the shovel.
But I think that's what people saw, and how it got to a point that how I used to deal with stuff just literally didn't work no more. I tried to, and then I developed anxiety. And I welcomed that into my life 2 years ago. Burying didn't work the same way.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
No, it didn't work the same where I could just answer your phone call and talk to you and then be okay. And then go back into the stuff I was bothered with and give you whatever I had. I have to now really sit and think, because for one, I mishandle my own issues. I definitely take on my friends' issues. You're sad, I'm sad. Like, I'm trying to fix it or figure out what I can do or resolve. And I've had to really learn that I cannot overextend myself, because I'm no use to even the people I could be there. Like, that what I have is enough. That might be a conversation, that might be a link up, that might be that. But what I got, what I personally can do is enough. So when I'm stressed about what I can't do, it will be enough for that receiving end. I can't take on the misconceptions of how it was supposed to look, because I do that enough on my own with myself.
Right.
I can't be loved that way in a friendship or relationship, that you're holding me to this space and the grace isn't an equal scale. That if I miss the mark, we can talk about it and, resolve, and you can miss the mark and I just got to deal. That's not gonna work. I can't do it that way. That has to change. So
would there be, besides that one, what other gem do you have?
You have to be honest. Sometimes I feel like friendships dissolve and fade into places that we were sometimes keeping people in spaces and positioning that they were never supposed to stay in. Or being in the first place. And the same way, like with a mate, that you can attract people as a reflection of where you are, that's the same with friendships.
And availability. Because she available to go to margarita night every night, or she available to go to the outlet store.
Listen, I've had people, and I've seen it, like, I've seen them rotate friends. I've seen them get close and talk to people all the time because you feel some way that I'm not available. And then 2 months later, when you're not talking to them,
oh, here you show up in
you're back. Hey, I was here. I'm still going to be here the way I am, because I'm going to be your friend. And I think we don't want to look at it all the time. And I think we have to grow. I think if you're focused on yourself growing, you will give the grace to the people around you in your life to grow too. And if you're not being accountable for your parts and you're not dealing with your own stuff, you will definitely look at somebody and start sizing up how they're supposed to be doing something. So I think you got to be honest with yourself. And for me, I had to, knowing that I was enough had to extend to friendships for me too. And it was a place that was holding me captive to behave or tolerate things that weren't good for me, and then have difficulties of why I was tolerating things from people I was dating, and why I was tolerating things in other places, but I was definitely deciding it was okay to tolerate in my friendships.
Right.
And that isn't healthy. So I think I'm just so happy that I'm in a place that I'm ready to do the work of being accountable for my part of why stuff has looked that way. And I don't know if you said it through this conversation, but we've said it before with each other. Being friendly is not the same as being a friend. And I think we have to hold more value. I think because I'm holding more value to myself, I'm not in a space to prove my friendship anymore.
Say it one more time.
I can't prove. I know what I'm offering. I know what I come to the table with. And I have to be more comfortable that if that doesn't work for you, I have to respect that and let love you where you are, you know, and
but I'm gonna leave you where you are too.
Yeah, it's not love lost. There's not a person that I used to talk to that I have any ill feelings for. I can have a conversation with. Nah, it's one I can't have a conversation. Just one. That was the trash character that we was talking about.
You so many.
It's just
use it. No, I take that back. It's one.
No, and that was because I put them somewhere they were never supposed to be.
It happens.
But so I would say, if you're like me in terms of that, we can't give passes to friendships. And I know a lot of people who love like me, who have a big heart like me, and you will critique someone you're dating to a T, and then because you've given that friendship clause a different subject, you've put a male or a female friend in a space that you let them be on trash, and you're like, it works. It can't work. Like, if you're gonna grow and level up, that doesn't mean they're gonna come to every dinner date. That's not gonna show up. Just being able to not question and know. I think I said that my female best friend, she lost her brother, and when she was going through that, I learned so much. I've learned so much just through our friendship, period. And that has me checking myself and kind of like challenging my perspective on things. And I knew I could not be there for her the way I wanted to be. Like,
right.
And some people stop being your friend if they don't feel they got the access that they think they're supposed to have, because
they put themselves in a
position. They give themselves. And if we're being honest, nobody has an access card with more accessibility than yourself. Nobody can be granted that. And I would be like, well, yeah, they got that card, so I'll do that thing I don't really want to do or probably shouldn't do because of who this person is. For where I'm at now, when she was going through that, I was just experiencing such a different version of her than what I was used to, and seeing things that if I had taken it personal, we couldn't have grown through that together. And I had to really mature through that season in her life, and where I was doing new things and starting my business and really excited, and I didn't have my best friend away. Yeah, I was used to having my best friend, and I had to level up and mature and grow and respect that some parts of this she had to do alone. And I had to just be here when she needed me, and I had to step back, and when she placed those phone calls, let's go, I'm ready. You ready? Need me now? Because I'm here.
Tap me in, coach.
Because I've been waiting.
Tap me in, coach.
I made you a gift basket in the in-between. Are we ready? And even her having a conversation with me of her saying that she recognized that she had me, but it was ways I couldn't be there, and not taking offense and loving each other through that place.
Right.
I've just grown so much in theory. Don't allow yourself to feel bad if someone is unable to love you, through your growth, your changes, your valleys, and your peaks. So I think because I'm working on me, I'm able to see that I can no longer not tolerate that in my friendships either. Like, all of it's on the table to talk about. And I think it's going to make me be a better friend, but I definitely have a demand that I didn't have before on who needs to be around me as I'm doing this, because it's important.
So, I got a couple gems. First of all, I need y'all to understand the definition of best friend. I need y'all to stop being so free with the term friend.
Yeah.
I need you to stop being so free with the term best friend. I need you to stop giving people more than they should. And it would be an easier situation for you if you categorize people correctly.
Right. Yep.
Because it wouldn't carry as much weight when things didn't go the way you wanted to, because you decided to categorize it incorrectly.
Yep.
Okay.
That's accountability.
Absolutely. The second thing is, if you do that and the person ends up disappointing you, you don't get to go talk about them. Because you need to hold yourself accountable for the part that you played. So you, like, I'm not talking about the ones that slept with your husband. Like, listen, right. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about the ones that y'all upset because they missed 2 birthday parties.
Yes.
I'm talking about the ones that were upset because you were sick and they didn't call and check on you because they were going through losing their mom or something. I don't know. Whatever the random
whatever
selfish
you decided
reason
they couldn't do.
Exactly. Don't just stop running around talking about people. You know, that doesn't make you a friend.
It doesn't become okay because your feelings and you think you get to.
Because I keep telling y'all these feelings is fickle. But y'all still out here with them though. Okay, fine. Go right ahead.
Deal with it.
The second one is you don't get to tell a person how they're supposed to react or respond to you. Meaning, I'm a texter. If you call me and I text you, maybe I'm not in the space to talk right then. Maybe. And when I say space, I don't mean like literally I'm in a meeting. I'm like mentally not in a space to hold conversations with people. But because I do value our friendship, I'm going to respond to you. Take that, because I definitely could have ignored your phone call and not text you.
That was an extension.
I'm handing out this grace. I'm going to need you to give it to me the same way I'm giving it to you. And stop thinking that just because it doesn't lay the way you want it to lay, that it's not okay. And I definitely didn't give that grace in relationships, and I didn't give that grace in friendships, and I do now in relationships. But I mean I definitely didn't give it in relationships, but I gave it in friendships. But now I extend that grace in relationships and my friendships. When a person is growing, you don't get to tell them or be upset because you like the old version of them. You don't have the right to do that. And that's the quickest way to get cussed out. So when a person's becoming better, but they no longer your drinking partner or your strip club partner or your caddy partner or your bust the window partner or your pity partner, pity party partner.
Listen to you talk about people and gossip and be on trash. And
just be an all around negative person. And they like, listen, I'm not trying to live like that no more. Listen, let's talk about something else. Did you hear Mac dropped a new line of something? Like, when they trying to just move past that, level up. You do it too. And if you don't want to do it, be okay with the fact that they do want to do that. And you don't get to hold a person accountable after they've given you love and grace, because you aren't in a place for it, and all the people you have around you are feeding that negative. And in your mind you're like, well, she must be wrong because all these other people are supporting my trash. Okay, well, it's just a junkyard full of y'all. I'm not going over there. I don't want to do it. So you be over there by yourself. I take friendship very seriously, and literally, if anybody who I'm ever considered one of my real friends called me right now, even though we're not talking right now, I'd be right there. Because I'm still their friend.
Absolutely.
But sometimes you just have to be a friend from a distance.
Same here.
Literally. Like, there's no question. I wouldn't be like, I ain't gonna be able to make it. Like, I'm not gonna be able to overextend myself to you anymore.
Right.
But if you need me,
I'm there.
I'm there.
Yeah,
period. Yeah. Point blank. You ain't got nothing to worry about. But overextending myself to people who aren't in a place to receive it, that didn't make it to 2019. That didn't make it. We talked about stuff that didn't make it. Yeah, that ain't make it.
That gonna stay on the other side.
This was a long one. Probably because we take friendship so seriously.
It's an important one. I think we've covered a lot of our growth and outlook in terms of relationship, and I think some people separate it, like, because they are similar to us and they hold relationships and their partners so to a higher regard, so friendships kind of get that, but because of the way we friend people, and if you're that person, that's about equally as important of what that person is doing in your life and how close you're keeping them. So
I really need y'all to stop holding them so close, because they rubbing off on you, and y'all being terrible people.
Well, when I started getting better, people started moving and shaking it.
Like I said, it's inevitable that they ain't gonna be able to stay for the ride. It just happens. I still love you though.
Yep. Facts.
All day. All right, y'all. Have a good night.